This is our 2019 Estate Vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon Clone 412. This, like the Estate Cab, gets extended barrel aging, stays in barrel for about 28 months. It is 100% aged in new French oak and is 100% fermented in roller barrels. So another one of our single vineyard cabs that is seeing that 100% oak fermentation technique, which adds, a nice richness to the wine. So we've traditionally made some clonal cabs from Red Mountain for the past 4 or 5 years or so, coming out of our some of our favorite blocks in Quintessence Vineyard. And for the 2019 vintage, this is another wine that's out of the 2015 planting. We really saw some just huge improvements in quality, and we were going through and tasting through all the different blocks and really loved how this wine tasted and loved how the Clone 169 tasted as well. I think these wines are super different and are really going to showcase how two blocks that are really planted right next to each other can taste so different because of the different clone of Cabernet that's planted.
Yeah, and we wanted to, when we planted in 15 and we went to choose what we were going to plant, we wanted some diversity from what we originally planted, clonal-wise, and I had heard from other winemakers that this was their favorite clone of Cabernet, so I definitely wanted to try it. So we have less than an acre of this, but I'm glad we planted it. It's, very different from anything else that we have.
Mm-hmm. I think it's definitely it's a pretty huge wine, but it's tasting pretty amazing right away.
Yeah.
As far as compared to some of our other Red Mountain cabs that we make.
I think it's a little more what I call this is big and concentrated, but it's a little more fruit forward than what we see with some of the other Cabernets off Red Mountain, and we see that a little bit. We have one other block of 412 that we take from Quintessence, and they're very similar, but in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Some really nice, bright, red fruit characteristics that you get on the mid palate, which is really fun to drink. It's a really fun, kind of flashy style wine, and honestly, with the 100% new French oak treatment, it's not overly oaked. None of our wines really are for the amount of oak that we use, but really is nicely integrated into the wine.
There's great integration, and I think if you love Cabernets and you're a little bit of a collector, you like to have some cabs aged out, you definitely want to get some of this. And I will remind you on your sheet, if you're an Op2 member, you're committed to 4 bottles of wine, but that doesn't mean you can't order 6 bottles. That's a nice shipping amount. Or even 12. That's even better.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.